Manga is the easiest form of storytelling to just plow through. Whereas in a book, you have to take time to explain all the visual details, and in a movie, you actually have to talk through all the dialogue. In a manga, you have none of these constraints, and it is so easy to just consume it, to just flip page after page and plow through it all. But despite this, every once in a while, there comes a singular page, a singular panel that just stops me, where I don't flip to the next page and I just have to take it in. And that's what this video is about. It's about 3 different panels in One Piece that made me stop. And I went into One Piece mostly blind. I have a friend who's read and watched everything, and he's surprised how little I knew going into it. And going into it, I had a simple question of, what's the big deal? Why do people like this? Spoilers to all the way up to chapter 81, and for context, I've read up to chapter 99. And the first panel is in the first chapter. Going right into it, we meet Luffy, our main character, for the first time, and he wants to be a pirate. And Shanks, the pirate captain, just happens to be in town. And how could he not want to be a pirate? As the crew says, pirates always have a good time, and best of all, pirates have freedom. But Shanks tells him that he can't swim, so it won't work out. Then, some bandits enter. The bandit leader's angry that the pirates drank all the booze, and when Shanks offers him the last bottle, the bandit breaks the last bottle on Shanks, and Shanks more or less ignores him, and he just focuses on the mess that was created. The bandit leader doesn't take too kindly to this, and decides to break all the other drinks and dishes on the table, and makes a huge mess, and leaves. And again, Shanks just isn't fazed by this, and neither is his crew. However, it really does bother Luffy. He wants Shanks to fight for his honor, or dignity, or something. And then we learn that Luffy is a rubber man, because he just ate a devil fruit. Which more or less means that he's Mr. Fantastic, but he can't swim. And then, a little bit later, when the bandits enter the bar again, Luffy can't keep his mouth shut, tries to start a fight, and gets captured. Then we see Shanks enter the scene again, and we see him more serious than we've ever seen him up to this point, saying that you can spit on him, but no one hurts a friend of mine. Shortly thereafter, the bandit leader pops a smoke bomb, escapes with Luffy out into the sea, and when Luffy tries to pick a fight again, he gets kicked out into the ocean. However, get lost. This panel right here, where Shanks is in the domain of a sea monster and he gives it one look, 2 words. Get lost. Shanks doesn't raise an eyebrow as a challenge. He doesn't brandish a weapon. He doesn't show a display of force. We never see what Shanks can do. But we know he can. And that's what's important here. He has such control over the situation, and he shows such restraint. It is so intriguing. Later on in this chapter, we see Luffy, after 10 years, handle this sea monster in 1 hit. And it's great, and it's beautiful, and it's a multi-page spread, and it shows us so much about how Luffy has grown in strength and how he is finally ready after 10 years. He's prepared for this moment, and he's finally ready. But it comes nowhere near the amount of control that Shanks has in this moment. He is in the sea monster's lair. He's protecting someone. But when the sea monster sees him, sees that look, it understands it has to go. It is Shanks' restraint here, and I guess Odo's restraint as well, that makes this panel, makes this chapter so much better. but now it makes it enjoyable and, more importantly, intriguing. Now I want to know more. Now I want to keep reading. And for the second panel, we see a dog's treasure get burned down in front of him. And he's just crying out as Luffy is watching. And this moment is so impactful because it lines right up with the themes that we've seen so far. We've learned that there are two things that hold unmistakable value: dreams and treasures. Luffy wants to become the Pirate King, and his treasure is his straw hat. Zoro wants to become the best swordsman. Nami wants to buy a certain village, and her treasure is money and tangerines. And Kobe wants to become a marine. And we've seen that this is really central to Luffy's way of viewing the world. He meets Kobe, whose dream is to become a marine, which is basically an anti-pirate pseudo-police force in this world. And Luffy 100% supports him. And this is against his better interests. Remember, Luffy is a pirate. Helping the Marines is not good for him, but it doesn't matter to him. This is Kobe's dream. And so he will be there and he will help him and he will respect that because it is his dream. And here we see a dog whose owner is dead and gone and has left the dog one thing: their pet food store. And it means everything to this dog. And when the whole village evacuates for their safety, the dog will still be there to protect the one thing he has left. And now we see it get burned down in front of him. And Luffy watches as he just cries out. We know that Luffy knows this is the dog's treasure, and we know what dreams and treasures mean to him. And he goes out and he finds the person who did this and brutally and quickly takes him out. And when he returns with the one piece that's left of that dog's treasure, he doesn't apologize. He doesn't say it's gonna be okay. He doesn't say, well, at least there's a little bit left. He just sits with him. And I believe they understand each other here. Luffy didn't see the dog fight to protect his treasure, even though he didn't stand a chance. He just knows. And the dog doesn't have to have Luffy explain why he did what he did, why he brought back the only thing that was left. They just sit. And they understand each other. For the third panel, I'd like to put a spoiler warning here. Everything so far has been pretty near the beginning, and we're in deeper in the 80s around, and a lot of stuff gets paid off here, so I just want to say spoiler warning. Let's talk about Nami. And Nami's been with the crew since about chapter 14, and she's made a point of, I'm not joining the crew, I'm just here because it's convenient for me. And then we learn when she leaves the crew that she's part of Arlong's crew. And we learn that Arlong killed Nami's mother 8 years ago when she was 10 years old in front of her. And at 10 years old, Nami took a deal. She made a deal with Arlong to get 100 million belly, which is currency, in order to buy her town back. At 10 years old, she decides to join her mother's killers to save her town, her friends, her family. And she promises then, I will not cry and I will do it alone. She decides to suffer on her own to save those she loves. Not only that, but she lets the town hate her for what she's done, saying it's all about the money. She'll join up with her mother's murderers if it means she can finally be rich. She doesn't want to give the weight of her decision to the villagers. So let them hate her. Let all the hate be on her, because she will do it alone and she will bury it. Then 8 years later, when we meet Nami, we see that the wounds from losing her mother have not healed. Upon hearing about her mother, she cannot maintain her composure. But she's so close. She's so close to reaching her goal of saving up 100 million belly. She bore everything alone, being with her mother's killers while the people she loves the most hate her, and then everything falls apart. Marines come to her island to steal away all the money she has been saving up for 8 years. Everything she has done since the day her mother died. And not only that, but she learns that the whole village, they always knew. They always knew what she was doing for them, but they let her believe that they hated her so that she would feel under no obligation, no contract. There was no assumptions that she would help them, that she would always have the out to leave them. As she learns 8 years is gone, has been stolen from her by the people that should have been helping her people for the last 8 years, she goes to Arlong because she knows, oh, Marines do not show up on this island. They do not. Maybe they try, but they don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. It has to be Nami because no one else stands a chance. As Nami goes to Arlong to confront him about what he has done and what he has allowed to happen, she learns he was never going to honor their deal. That she's been working for towards 8 years not only have turned out for nothing, but were never going to turn out. And as 8 years come crashing down on her, all the hate, she has done this all alone, and it has to be her, and now it can't, and now it didn't work out. She breaks one of the 2 promises she made, and she starts to cry because it is too much. 8 years she's been doing everything alone with the worst people in the world, without the people she loves, alone. But that's not it. It doesn't end there because she knows the villagers know what happened now, and they will not stand for it. And they will go to fight Arlong, and they will die because they don't stand a chance, because it has to be Nami. It can't be anyone else. So she goes to stop them and says, hold on, wait, let's do it all again. Just hold on just a little bit longer. I'll do it all again. With everything bottled up and just exploding within her, 8 years of emotion and trauma, and right after having her world fall around her, after having the second worst moment of her life, she puts it all away. She puts the cap back on the bottle. For the people she loves, she says, let's do it all again. This is heartbreaking for me. The panel after this is just shock. And that was me. When I saw this, I physically had to put down my phone and walk away. It was too much for me in that moment. The rest of the page, everyone is shocked. At the bottom of the page, Arlong is laughing up at her joyously, saying he will work her until the day she dies, as she is containing her pain again. This panel tears me apart. Just denying yourself emotions for others. Her world is falling apart, and she stops everything. She bears the weight of everyone on herself again. This panel hurts me. And I love it for it. This panel doesn't have the intrigue of Shanks holding back, or the raw emotion of a dog crying as its treasure is burned down in front of him. But it feels real. Nami feels real. I learned One Piece isn't great because of some overarching narrative or whatever the heck One Piece is. One Piece is great because of the characters. Not because the characters can fight good or look cool, because they feel real. They work together, they clash, they feel real, and I want to be there to see it.